Actually, there's only me. But let's say there's only you. Every one of you is a me, is the me. The me, the only me. But when you know this, there's not several of you anymore. There's not every one of you anymore. That phrase does not apply. Language cannot arrive to perfectly do justice to the reality. Cannot do justice to reality. It's an approximation. So, you have to remember who you are, what you are. See that everything in the drama changes. So it must be not very much important. And the problems of yesterday are not problems today. The problems today were not yesterday, will not be tomorrow. Maybe some are persistent and keep us for some years of the dream, but who cares, you know? It's changing. And then you're gone. This body-mind is gone. So who cares? So why to be so fixated in the story, the stories? Instead, ask who is behind the story? To whom is happening, or seems to happen, because maybe it's not happening at all. Who is watching this? Who is seeing this? Who am I without the story, or the stories? Ask yourself this question. If I am only these stories, it's not worth it. You see that? Because these stories will disappear completely with your body. The body will disappear. Who is the guest role or guest star of the stories will disappear. So all the stories will. So if you were that, why care? You know, go to Vegas, make some millions, or just, you know, go to the beach and pass your days. If it was an illusion only, if there was no truth anywhere. You know, that nihilistic perspective was true, then who cares? But maybe you don't buy that. Maybe you don't buy that nihilistic perspective that is just all random combinations of electrons, positrons, that give me a sense of consciousness, and then this body will die, will disintegrate, and that's all. Maybe you don't buy that. Because if that was the case, I'm telling you, be guided by your conscience, and do whatever you feel best, whatever you think is best for your children, for others, to enjoy this ride, right? Or for yourself, selfishly, whatever. It does not have much consequence if that's the case. You see? Would be a project, whole existence, the whole whole arc of life would be a project without any sense, any purpose, any meaning. Just a chance that has arisen in the middle of this multiverse. And that's what some people think, right? Not many scientists, but some think that, this just happened by laws that nobody explains why arose, and these laws combined created life. But this is with no consequence, because there's no goal, there's no end, there's no omega point, there's nothing. Much less a transcendental realm or a transcendental truth, much less even. So I'm not addressing this point of view. I'm saying, if that was the case, it's your business, what you do with your ethics or whatever guides your life. But if you're sitting here, possibly it's because you don't buy that. You have the sense that there's something precious, something luminous, something complete, meaningful, somewhere. We say somewhere because we move at this stage in terms of space-time duality. Like if we are separate entities in the world, so in those terms we think of the truth, ultimate truth, as someplace. Of course, that's not the case. That's simply, again, the projection of our thinking. The projection of our conditioning, our limited views through the intellect. But even not understanding or distorting that potential, that possibility, we have the intuition about it. Why? Because you are 1 millimeter awakened. You're not totally in the dark. You are a measure of enlightened, you see? Otherwise, you are in total out of touch. You would be totally out of touch in that materialistic perspective that I told before. Totally out of touch of the truth that is present in yourself. You know what I mean? That truth that we say it's somewhere else, it's the heaven, or it's the Pure Land, or the realms of the Buddhas, or however metaphor we use, even if all that is just human imagination. We know that it's about something real. And we know it because that reality, that transcendental reality, that truth, that luminosity, that completedness is who we are. is our default, as I said before, is our nature. So our nature is beginning to awaken, and then it makes itself manifest to the intellect and says, hey, I am truth, I am true. Search for me, look for me. It is calling you, you are calling yourself,